नमस्कार, मैं रिद्धिमा रैना आप सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ JECRC के नए और रोमांच भरे पॉडकास्ट में, जिसका नाम है The Gist Junkies. The Gist Junkies is a prodigious initiative by the Student Council of JECRC University, with the theme, a person who can make everything possible. Well, the theme itself complements our very first guest on the show. He's not only a renowned personality, but also an enterprising and dynamic person. Let me take the honors to welcome Professor Victor Gambhir, President JECRC University.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Thanks, Ridhima. Thank you.
To begin with, I would request you, sir, to kindly tell us something about your journey and some experiences.
Okay, Ridhima. I did my BTech in Mechanical Engineering from Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala in 1982. And then through campus placement, I joined Ronak Singh Group of Industries, which were basically into engineering projects. My first 4 years, I did 3 projects: a chemical plant at Hyderabad, cooling water system at Anpara Super Thermal Power Station in district Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh, and my last project was Bombay-Pune pipeline project at Mumbai. And then I joined Technical Education Department, Government of Haryana, initially as lecturer in mechanical engineering in December 85. 1988, I was selected as workshop superintendent for overall in charge of the engineering workshop of the Polytechnic. And in 1991, India got World Bank grant for development of technician education in India, and I was taken as Deputy Director in State Project Implementation Unit in Technical Education Department, where I remained my rest of the 14 years, initially as Deputy Director and later as Joint Director. In 2006, I took VRS from the government service and I joined private education. Initially, I was Director Planning with the Manavachana Group of Institutions. Later on, when it became university, I became the founder, Vice Chancellor. And after that, I have served as Vice Chancellor in 3 universities, including JECRC, and I have now about 16 years experience as Director, Vice Chancellor or Vice Chancellor of the university.
That's really great, sir, because I guess your experience is even way better and bigger than my age. तो अब बिना देरी के हम शुरू करते हैं हमारे आज के टॉपिक पे बात विक्टर गंभीर सर के साथ। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है फ्यूचर एजुकेशन। तो सर, आपका जो योगदान एजुकेशन की फील्ड में रहा है वो काफ़ी लंबे समय से रहा है, एंड आपने दोनों ही हमारे ट्रेडिशनल मेथड ऑफ एजुकेशन और साथ में अब जो ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन का मेथड हम लोग फॉलो कर रहे हैं, दोनों देखे हैं। तो आपके अकॉर्डिंग इस चीज़ के ऊपर आपकी आइडियोलॉजी और आने वाले समय से आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशंस क्या हैं?
कि हम लोग अगर एजुकेशन की बात करें या आने वाले समय में एजुकेशन का स्वरूप कैसा होगा, हम लोग इसकी बात करें तो फर्स्ट लेट अस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट एजुकेशन मींस. एजुकेशन मींस ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ ए स्टूडेंट. हिंदी में अगर हम लोग बात करें तो व्यक्तित्व का समुचित विकास. तो व्यक्तित्व का समुचित विकास अगर हमारे को एक किसी स्टूडेंट का करना है एक यूनिवर्सिटी या एक कॉलेज में, तो उसके लिए every student must attain minimum 3 set of competencies. First set of competency is competency to earn a decent livelihood. Second competency is to become a law-abiding citizen. And third set of competencies will be being a better human being. So these 3 set of competencies, when we create in a university, then these will bring affirmative change in 4 dimensions of the personality of the student. Number 1, there will be a positive change in knowledge, there will be a change in the skills of the students, there will be change in the attitude of the student, and there will be a change of behavior of the student. So when we talk about education in general, so we must make sure that overall personality of the student evolves. So keeping this thing in mind, we design a curriculum which takes care of, say, certain knowledge components. Say, let us talk about, say, journalism and mass communication. And end of the day, we want the university graduate to become a good and effective journalist. So all the core competencies which are required for a good journalist that we need to create by providing certain subjects. Also, say when we say knowledge, it means we know. We know. When we say skills, we can do. So both of these things are very important. So when we teach, we try to impart knowledge, and when we do work in lab, when we do work in field, then we create skills where we can do the things like. And the most important component is that attitude and behavior, they are very, very critical. You know, human beings are social animals, so we can't stay in isolation. We have to work in team, and when we are working in team, we must know the etiquettes, that how we have to carry the team, how to create a good team, how to go along with the team, how to become a good leader, how to become a good follower. So all these things become the integrated part of the education. So when we talk about delivery of education, now we have heard a lot about online education because of this pandemic. We were bound, say, within our four walls of our home. It was not possible to come to the university and attend the class. So then we went in for online education. Let us again try to understand that what is difference between online education and what is physical mode education or offline, the term which is used very common nowadays. So when a teacher is teaching in the class, that is known as synchronous teaching. Synchronous teaching means there is a direct interaction between the teacher and the learners. In that case, a good teacher will be able to know from the body language of the learners whether they are understanding, whether they are not understanding, who is understanding, who is not understanding, who is responding, who is not responding. It is synchronous, so eye-to-eye contact is there and interaction is much better. When we talk about online education, that is known as asynchronous mode of teaching. So student is sitting at a remote place, teacher is sitting at another place, there is no eye-to-eye connect, then teacher is not, say, capable enough to know what exactly is happening at the end of the student. So in that case, responsibility of the learner becomes much, much more. So in classroom, if a student is not learning, teacher will make sure that he is taken into that process and learns. But in asynchronous mode, it is totally responsibility of the student. If student chooses not to learn, teacher will have very little control to make sure that they are learning. And in future, I think blended education will be the most preferred. This pandemic is not over, and we may have more such pandemics in the time to come, because this the kind of politics we are having, international politics which we are having. So blended education is going to stay with us. Online thing and physical, now they will run simultaneously.
Yes, definitely. That will be, I guess, our best way to carry forward the education system without any issues or problems further.
Definitely.
Now, as sir, you must have seen that already competition is increasing day by day. Students are polishing themselves on daily basis. They are working like for hours. They are studying, and the level of competition is increasing. So what is your thought about that? What competition will be there in upcoming years? What sort of efforts the students will have to put in to get to a certain level?
See, competition is again a very relative term. So competition for what? Competition for, say, when we prepare a student, then student decides what kind of career they are going to follow. Say, a BA journalism and mass communication student can become a journalist working with print media or with TV channels, or say with social media. Person can work as a, say, digital marketing expert. Person can be freelancer. You can start your own startup. So there are multiple options are there. So competition in general is perceived what kind of financial gains we are going to get. This is what a general perception of competition is, that a student passing out from the university will be looking for a plush job. That if we ask a student, what will be your expectation in next 5 years? So student will say that I should get a package of around 10, 12, 15 lakhs in the beginning. I should become CEO of a company within say 10 years. I should have BMW or Audi say in next 5, 7 years. So this all depends what exactly our needs are. Unfortunately, we are today living in a materialistic world and we have increased our needs. If my needs are, say, if we talk about, say, taking food only for a 3-4 person, taking food will not take, say, more than 30,000-40,000 at max. That will be maximum. But when we say that we need 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees per month, so then we are looking for certain luxuries. So what is happening, that competition for physical possession, if we say, then definitely it is increasing. And when we say we are able to meet our basic needs, there is not much of competition. And another dimension to the competition is, say, with my experience of about 37 years in education, and I have seen people say sitting for CAT, people sitting for civil service examination or say RS examination. In India, parents decide what a student is going to do. They force their decision. As a parent, say, if I wanted to become a doctor and I couldn't, I will make sure that my children take medicine. I don't get it, say, analyzed whether the person has got competency for becoming a doctor or not. I will say, you become a doctor. So I will admit my son into, say, biology. And without knowing whether a person is competent enough to take biology or he was good in mathematics. So parents decide that what kind of examination you will sit in. And I have seen that hardly 15 to 20% people go prepared for the competition. Rest of the 80% people they just ran. They were not prepared. They were totally, they were forced to sit either by peer pressure or because of other things. So competition, in my opinion, is not much for smart people.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Now, moving ahead, sir, my last question to you would be, what sort of advices or the opinions you would like to give to our very new initiative, which is Junkies?
So I congratulate the organizers. Gist Junkies is a very novel idea where, say, it is again part of training. You are a student of a university. Before you go and face the world of work, so you are preparing yourself, say, interviewing, say, me. You are getting certain competencies, you are getting certain skills, you are also working on your attitude, you are also working on your behavior, and all other people who are involved, they are doing the same thing. So it is a great way of learning. And I congratulate the organizers that they have organized such a good program, and that will bring, say, whatever intellectual capital we have in the university, that will bring it to the fore. This will increase the university branding, and this will also give opportunity to all students who are involved in this to learn what they need to learn to become a good journalist, a good law-abiding citizen, and a good and better human being.
Exactly, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on the show. And in the very ending, I would request you all to kindly stay tuned and wait for the upcoming episode of Gist Junkies.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Best wishes. Good luck. Thank you.